It's been a long morning. So, like Sir Ronald yesterday, I'd like to salute you all for being here, and particularly salute all of the entrepreneurs in the room of all the different stripes, striving to make Israel a better country and our world a better place. And Sir Ronald, I want to salute you, a friend, a co-investor, and just an amazing human being and Israeli. 125 years ago, in this city, a covenant of consequence was rebirthed. A covenant linking a people to its land, joining a people with a shared heritage to a daring destiny of highest ideals, a covenanting from a people acting with freedom and girded by monotheistic beliefs. Theodor Herzl brought together the new and the ancient, the alt and neu, the Jew of modernity to reinvigorate an ancient homeland. The best ideals of Western thought, emancipation, statecraft, democracy, linked inextricably to the rootedness of timeless Jewish Israelite values, Torah and tradition. From this synthesis, Herzl called a scattered but interconnected community of faith and aspiration to a new old Jewish covenant of statehood, civic pioneering, spirit, and economic vibrance. We meet at a critical hour to rebirth covenant again. The pre-Shoah prescience of Herzl and Nordau meets us at a time when enduring anti-Semitism and Jew-baiting have morphed into academic boycotts, BDS, and terror, as we saw yesterday, but it's different than 125 years ago. In the face of those who stand up to destroy us in this generation, steadfastly, the proud state of Israel stands as a testament to the success of Herzl's vision. A vibrant civic society infused with mutual solidarity, arvut hadadit, living shared civic sacrifice of national service from institutions of the state, such as Tzal, to inspiring civic movements such as the Shomer HaChadash, Alei Negev, Kenafayim Shel Krembo, and the Or movement, all who are represented here today, proof that dreams need not be just dreams. Herzl's dreams are our reality. The state of Israel's big, vibrant reality. A startup nation is now scaled up. We are still a small people, a speck of sand in the world's multitudes and nations, but we shine a bright light like the stars in Abraham's dream, the dream of the first biblical covenant. This light, this strength must illuminate our way precisely at a time of unbelievable confusion in the world broadly. Right now is the moment for us together to revisit covenant, to renew a next Alt-Neu vision. Precisely now, it is our responsibility to covenant anew with each other. Israel needs this light, and the League of Nations can benefit from it too. This Alt-Neu covenant exports goods and services and light. Here at this conference, we focus together on a new Israeli economic covenant. But I believe that our new economic covenant will only succeed over the long term when it is rooted in the unique elements of our Alt-Neu, our biblical heritage of solidarity and empowerment, combined with our unique competitive entrepreneurial assets. Herzl's great dream became the astounding success of modern Israel because he dared a radical conceptual framework, a civic movement led not by politicians, rather by committed citizens. Mobilized by boldest aspirations, a return to Zion after 2,000 years of exile, Herzl invited all to covenant for transformative purpose, not a bold goal, rather a transformation of reality. Insisting on the strengths of the West, the traditions unleashed by the American and French revolutions, and pressingly recognizing the weaknesses at the heart of those movements epitomized by the Dreyfus trial, Herzl imagined where history could lead. And he dared to believe that the Jews could be actors in Western history, that a Jewish problem could be transformed into opportunity, Jewish impact for the betterment of Jews and the West. Do we see where the innovation economy heads today? In the West, collective amnesia or willful blindness, the calls for socialism. In the West, willful blindness, almost Saddamic NIMBY uncaring as the inequities of the market multiply. And in the East, confiscation of property and freedom, a mutant form of coercive capitalism. Imagine if we dared an economic recovenanting, combining Jewish wisdom with what we have earned and learned about how to build a thriving innovation marketplace. Well, why imagine? Let us look together at what is already happening in Israel. As a new economic vision, can we call it covenantal capitalism, begins to emerge, led by Israeli entrepreneurs. Herzl's Altneu covenant included an economic vision which he called mutualism. It was a mix of public and private ownership. Herzl scholar Shlomo Avineri describes the vision as a version of a social democratic welfare state of today, perhaps. In that Herzlian Altneu, the public-owned core infrastructure, land, natural resources, energy resources, like electricity grids. Major industries and agricultural settlements were to be cooperatively owned by their employees. Retail trade was to remain in private hands. Herzl envisaged many free social services, such as universal education, free medical care, retirement, pensions, and old age homes. While some of this may appear familiar, it was absolutely revolutionary economic view in 1902. Interestingly, Herzl thought that the new old state should not have a stock market. Early modern Israel looked a lot like Herzl's mutualist vision, agriculturally innovative and somewhat self-sufficient, offering dignity and solidarity to its people, but hardly an enviable economic success or a country driving relevant global economic innovation. Then, no sane country wanted to be like Israel's economy. Still, mutualism was powerful, but I believe Herzl significantly undervalued the generative power of capitalism. Capitalism has been the greatest engine of human prosperity, health, and achievement since the beginning of human history. Incentivizing entrepreneurs invokes market energies that can enrich personal and national quality of life. Mutualism prioritizes solidarity over economic power. Economic power is not only necessary, it is a blessing, the ultimate biblical blessing in the land. And yet, as we see too vividly, capitalism without a robust enough values framework overwhelms solidarity. Covenantal capitalism dares differently. When biblical wisdom meets vibrant modern capitalism in the reality of modern Israel, a new economic covenant emerges, one more inclusive and more sustainable, one that can deliver on the promises that underpin modern Israel. Like Israel's commitment to universal, high-quality, affordable health care, the civic promise to every Israeli stems from Herzl's vision and predates the founding of the modern state. Today, ours is a unique single-payer model providing basic health care to all, financed by a progressive tax system, supplemented crucially by elements of market-based competition between HMOs. In Israel, we know none of us are safe or healthy until all of us are, and we we aspire to that standard. To make and keep that promise, we must be biblical, which insists that all citizens be included, and noi, incenting market competition and profit-driven initiatives to drive innovation in quality and cost for core services. In Israel, we are living our responsibility to recovenant healthcare, a universal promise underwritten by a capitalist drive to make more money and improve that healthcare. Increasingly, across the Israeli economy, covenantal capitalism functions in the same fashion. The economic covenant we are building cannot be anchored on redistribution. The new Israeli economy can and is being grown from values-informed investment led by private investors and daring entrepreneurs that should be mirrored and matched by responsive government. In a covenanted economy, mutual upskilling, equipping one another to compete in the 21st century economy is not a tired government program. Upskilling has been a moral imperative since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. And yet the exhausted and earnest efforts forwarded across one government agency or another have proved feeble at best. They actually have failed. Biblically, upskilling is the responsibility of entrepreneurs, of business owners. In ancient times, the Torah mandated the commandment of pe'ah, leaving the corner of your field for someone else to harvest, leaving sheaves for someone less fortunate to gather. These were not alms for the poor, but rather an opportunity to apprentice under the professional harvesters and gleaners. Mutual responsibility for upskilling, a covenantal commitment across tribes and sectors led by the market-driven private sector, creates impact, trust, social resilience. Covenantal capitalism is not redistributive. Our premise is together we can grow the pie. By creating agency and resilience through community apprenticeship and upskilling, the base of the pyramid will grow the pie. Growing the pie is not a wish. Creating more profit and more dignity is a hard-nosed objective. Standing in Herzl's legacy, seeing what the power of vision yields, you know that I can recite to you example after example of entrepreneurs building covenantal capital. Yuval Sammet, a serial tech founder who sold the company he co-founded to the Swedish fintech giant Klarna. But after a few years of successful leadership in Sweden, he brought his family back to Tel Aviv because he knew that in Israel he could be part of a new technology movement, a for-profit market cap building effort that would deliver technology to lift up consumers. Or Tamara, an incredibly talented and sophisticated English woman by birth, succeeding powerfully amidst the fast lane in Los Angeles, who knew that she had to be home in Tel Aviv, an old new city where a new technology revolution was welling up. And so together, Bright Lights and Swedish Ice co-founded Rise Up in 2017, along with Yiftach from the Israeli technology intelligence world. Today, Rise Up is a tool that powers average citizens to agency, to understand how to manage and significantly improve their personal finances and act on those insights. Fitbit invites you to physical health. Rise Up offers a simple path to financial health and independence for you and your family. Yuval, Tamara, and Yiftach disrupt, not for fun nor to destroy, but to make the system healthier, to grow the pie. Covenantal capitalism. Rise Up is building community, but this is not just Noi Tech Talk. This is eternal wisdom. This is Elkanah, who Yuval invokes, the father of the great prophet Shmuel, marching towards the tabernacle in Shiloh, gathering his fellows en route. This is a community built on the Torah foundation that prohibits charging our brothers and sisters interest on the loans they take to achieve economic dignity. Rise Up calls Israelis from being debtors, slaves to interest payments, from credit hawkers into savers, and ultimately equity holders in a covenantal economy. This is what Rabbi Yosef Dov Soloveitchik described as a covenantal community, an economic movement that stretches for generations and that can grow the economic pie in Israel, 40,000 Israelis strong so far. I'm going to have to skip because they're pulling me off the stage. When Herzl stood here, he dreamed and willed. Today we can do no less. We have assets in reality that Herzl could never have imagined. In our challenged world, in a global economy without principled politico-economic leadership, following decades of money printing and a market system increasingly dislocated from fundamental civic values, these have fostered unbearable and increasing social gaps. Skills gaps between the technologically proficient and those that are not are leaving many behind economically. Wealth concentration following the wake of technological innovation, bolstered by money printing, are growing alarmingly. My friends, the greatest engine of economic progress, capitalism, needs urgent overhaul. Again, it's not capitalism that's broken, we are. I close my eyes in honor of those who dreamed 100 years ago in Basel, Jerusalem, and New York. Look what your dreams and your will begot. But I hear the discord. I taste the vitriol of economic discontent, and I rejoice in our lot. Israel is not a dream. It's an absolute miracle of human ingenuity, an Altnoy model of possibility and purpose of software and solidarity. It is now our time together to be the authors of the new Israeli economic vision of covenantal capitalism. China mooted its vision, coercive capitalism. No, America created holy days like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Now, together, we must create a civic movement in Herzl's spirit, a uniquely Israeli model, one rooted also in the spirit of Torah, recovenanting. The future of capitalism is Israeli-initiated covenantal capitalism. Together, we can do it.